So in the last class we have started some the concepts related to satellite. This is a body which is moving, which is revolving around a big body, and the example given was the moon around the sun, around that our Earth, as well as that if we compare the size of Earth and Sun, then we can also say that all the planets can be considered as satellites for Sun. So different planets have different numbers of satellites, and those satellites are known as natural satellites because it is natural satellites because this made up of by nature. And we have numbers of artificial satellite, that is, those satellites are man-made satellites, and initially the first time the satellite launched by a human being, that is from Russian, that was the Russian satellite, and named as Sputnik. So, and after that now different countries are trying to launch different satellites for their uses. So that natural satellites and artificial satellites, and today we will try to complete this the launching of this satellite mathematically as well as theoretical concept. So let's have we know the basics of Earth and the atmosphere of our Earth. So if we have this our Earth of radius r and capital mass m, and we will have the atmosphere, and the height of atmosphere, I think you should know. The maximum height of atmosphere is about 16,000 kilometers. So our atmosphere is ranged up to 16,000 kilometers from the surface of Earth, and let us and also that gravitational field we have. So if we throw any object, any body of mass m, then it just come back to ground state. So and this is, let's say, just a tower which is up to the more than the height of this is our atmosphere. So this is atmosphere. So we have one tower, and the height of this tower is just about, for example, it is more than this atmospheric height. So if we throw any body from this particular tower with a particular velocity v, then generally we have that projectile type motion, and after a projectile motion, this will come back to on the surface of Earth, and this will pass through this atmosphere. So there will be friction type effects, and maybe just maybe that object of mass m just burn out because of friction with this atmosphere. And if it's this velocity further increases, this range we have calculated in projectile motion, its range may be increased up to this point, and here this is a, this is b, or a1, b1, c1, and so if this velocity, this v is increased enough, if velocity is less, then this will, because of this the effect of this gravitational force of our Earth, this will fall down on the surface of Earth by following one projectile path. So this path is projectile path, the second path is also projectile path, and here in the case of this b, the velocity of that project is projectile motion is more than with compared to this a, and maybe when we further increase, so somewhere that body will be on the c points, and that is more than that b1. But when we give this velocity more enough to then that will just start following that path, but it will rotate around the Earth. That will be in the effect of gravitational field, and this will get that centripetal force. So in the last class we try to calculate that one. So when we give this strong enough, when we give this velocity enough to move in a particular path by using that centripetal force. So if this height is height was taken as equivalent to h. In the last class we have calculated the centripetal force, that Fc, this is equivalent to that was if the mass of this body it is m, so this is m v naught square by r plus h, and at that maximum velocity it is represented by v naught, and this v naught is where v naught is known as orbital velocity. So this is that maximum velocity. At that velocity, that object starts orbiting around that Earth, and it is not following this type of that projectile path. That maximum velocity, that limited velocity, that velocity is known as orbital velocity, and this is just from m v naught by r plus h, and obviously there will be the effect of gravitational force. So we will take this Fz, it is equal to that z m by r plus h square, and in order to revolve around the earth, what we have calculated that Fc must be equivalent to Fg. The gravitational force is balanced by that centripetal force. So this is m v naught square by r plus h, and this is equivalent to gmm by r plus h square. So we have calculated so we perform the calculation as v naught, it is equivalent to what will be there, this will be cancelled, and this is root of gm r plus h. We did this. So v naught, this orbital velocity, is equivalent to the function of this z, m and r plus h. And we have also the relation between this v naught with acceleration due to gravity. Since gm is equivalent to gr square from our previous calculation, then this v naught, this is equivalent to root of gr square by r plus h. Okay, so one can say this v naught, this is inversely proportional to height, means as height increases, the orbital velocity decreases. So this needs a small velocity to start orbiting around the earth. So this v naught, this is inversely proportional to height, as well as this also depends on this z, acceleration due to gravity. I mean, this is also the function of the radius of this body, and that radius of big body or that earth, as well as mass. So one can say this v naught, it is proportional to inversely proportional to height. So height from the surface of earth, from earth, and says height increases, v naught will decrease. And this also depends on acceleration due to gravity. I mean, this is the function of mass of earth as well as that its radius. So this is the function of this. And we also did if we have this h is much less than r, then we can avoid this this term. We can write here as this is equivalent to r plus h, that is can be written as equivalent to r, and we will have this v naught is equal to r, this is r, so one r can be cancelled, so this is zr. So this is orbital velocity. One can write this integration r, the square root of g multiplied by r. Now we have one more term that is known as escape velocity, and that is the minimum velocity to escape from the gravitational field of our earth, and that escape velocity, so escape velocity, it is equal to VE, it is equivalent to root of 2gr. We have derived this root of 2gr. So Also, you can calculate this V naught on the surface of Earth. Just put the value of G and that value of R and calculate that orbital velocity on the surface of Earth. And that we have this V naught orbital velocity. So orbital velocity is equivalent to root of Gr. By comparing this, Ve is equivalent to root 2 multiplied by V naught. This is the relation between. Okay, now calculate this. V naught is equivalent to calculate V naught. V naught at near the surface of Earth. V is equivalent to 9.8 meter per second square, and R is taken is equivalent to 6.4 into 10⁻⁶. This R is taken is equivalent to 6.4 into 10⁻⁶ meter. Calculate V naught. Just approximation calculate karo. It's about 8 kilometers. Just to compare this. Just to this can be taken as equivalent to 10. Okay. So this is 7.9 or
0.8 into 10 to the power 3.
Kilometers. So it's the value is 7.92. I think 7.92. So it's 7.92 kilometers per second. Okay. And that what we have calculated this V escape velocity was equivalent to 11.2 kilometers per second. Remember this value. So general that the orbital velocity of that satellite near in the near orbit, near about the surface of Earth, not at maximum height. So this is about 7.92 kilometers per second. And one can calculate that the time period also. We can calculate time period. Let's say this is now the orbit. This is now the orbit of our Earth and on the orbit of that satellite, and it is moving with orbital velocity V naught. We have calculated that orbital velocity. This is and that this radius, it's now R plus H we have taken. So this is R plus H we have taken. So its velocity is V naught and the time is calculated as so the time period is equal to the length of path upon velocity. So length of orbiting part or just a parameter of that path. So this is parameter of path, circular path by orbital velocity. Orbital velocity. So this is that the radius is this. So this is equal to 2 pi. The capital T is equal to 2 pi R plus H. Is it? We will start calculation from the center of Earth. Remember this. So this is 2 pi R plus H, the radius, upon orbital velocity is V naught. Hence, V naught is equal to root of Gm by R plus H. Because So put this value here. This time period T, it is equivalent to 2 pi. This is R plus H upon root of Gm R plus H, and one can write this is equivalent to 2 pi R plus H, and this is R plus H to the power half by root of Gm. Okay, so this is equivalent to 2 pi r plus h 3 by 2 by root of g. So in different format we will have this formula. So if we can substitute this in place of this gm is equivalent to small gm, since gm is equivalent to gr square, then this time period t can be written as equivalent to 2 pi r plus h 3 by 2 by root of gr square. Okay, somewhere if that data is given in terms of the density of earth, so you can convert this m in terms of density of earth. So in terms of density of earth, what we will have, so mass m it is equivalent to volume multiplied by density. So volume of our earth is equivalent to 4 pi by 3 r cube multiplied by, let's say, rho is the density. Then this time period t can be written as equivalent to 2 pi r plus h 3 by 2 by root of g multiplied by 4 pi by 3 r cube. Okay, then just make some calculation, so that root 3 and some mathematical terms and final expression will be different from this. And also one can calculate that height of at a particular satellite by using this formula. So let's say this one. You can check this also. Okay, so this is in single speed, one can write this is equivalent to, in terms of that root, this is r plus h cube, like this, by gm, and also here let's take the complete root, and this is that cube. So this is also with 2 pi root of r plus h cube by gr square. I just take up r outside of this okay. And we can calculate height of this satellite, and let's start from this. In order to calculate height of satellite, this t it is equivalent to 2 pi r plus h 3 by 2 by root of gr square. We have to calculate it for h. Okay, so first take the square of both sides of this expression. So this is t square, it is equivalent to 4 pi square by r plus h cube by gr square. So r plus h cube, one can calculate this for r plus h cube. It is equivalent to t square gr square upon 4 pi square. Is it? And then r plus h, it is equivalent to t square gr square by 4 pi square of 1/3 It is r plus h cube, just to transfer it. So h is equal to h is equal to t square gi square by 4 pi square 1/3 minus r. So just you have to solve it for h, not no new terms are introducing here. Simple mathematics. Okay, so this is the time period and that orbital velocity. And the concept is, I think it's clear now. So in order to launch any satellite, what is the requirement? Here, what we were observing, if this is that tower and we have to give one tangential velocity to that. So in rocket launching and that satellite launching, we use rockets and multi-stage rockets. So in general, third stages of rockets are used to launch a satellite, because we have to overcome the effect of a gravitational field, as well as that satellite must be launched above from our atmospheric region. It's above from that our atmospheric region. So generally we use a 3-step rockets. So this is the first one, and then second stage. This is that second one, and then this is the third one. So generally, rocket, this is the first stage, this is the second one, and this is the third one. And that satellite which had to launch on the orbit above from that Earth in a particular specific fixed orbit, and this is that satellite, artificial satellite. So initially, by using that, we have calculated that Newton's third law of motion. So this starts burning fuel, and upthrust is applied on the surface of Earth, and it starts moving. So first step, it is to escape from this region by using that escape velocity about 11.2 kilometer. So fuel is such enough that it can just give a thrust to this satellite up to a particular height. At a particular height, the first step, the fuel is exhausted, and then it just separate out from this the complete setup. Then in the second stage is started, and during this second stage, the moment, that motion is not just step in the upward direction. It started tilting. So after this first step, second step, when this second step will start, this will start tilting. Means its velocity is increasing. First, that velocity is increasing. And after this first step, mass is reduced because of this attaching this first stage rocket. Okay, mass is reduced, so velocity will increase. So velocity increases, as well as the direction of velocity changes. So in the second stage, that direction of velocity, this start tilting in this direction. So the second stage, the velocity will be that in the resultant of that one. One that is in the upward direction. Second one is it started tilting. So the resultant velocity will be. And in the third stage, the velocity is of that is in on the horizontal direction from the surface of Earth, and that provides actually that orbital velocity to start orbiting around the Earth. So the requirement is, पहला होता है कि भाई उसको वो अर्थ के ग्रेविटेशनल फील्ड से बाहर निकालना है इसके वेलोसिटी से. तो इनिशियली इट स्टार्ट्स इन द वर्टिकल डायरेक्शन, फर्स्ट स्टेज. आफ्टर पर्टिकुलर हाइट, after exhausting the fuel of this first stage, during this second stage, direction of that velocity starts changing. Not in the completely vertical direction. It starts tilting. And velocity is still increasing. So in the second stage and in the third stage, that velocity of that satellite, it is now parallel to our Earth, and that the conditions for that orbital velocity, whatever we have done in the mathematical terms, it starts. That centripetal force, it is balanced by gravitational force, and then we have that orbital velocity, that the fixed orbital velocity, and it starts revolving around our Earth with a particular time period. So one can calculate height, one can calculate time period, one can calculate orbital velocity, and that orbital velocity, time period, and height, it is controlled by these three steps of our rocket system. What velocity we have to provide, up to what, where we have to launch that satellite, because that height is also important. Where it is controlled by the fuel or that rocket used to launch that satellite. Okay, so this is that launching of satellite, and there are some wonderful videos are available in YouTube by showing how to launch that satellite, and one can observe, and that there you can observe that changing in the direction of at a different stage. So this is 3-stage launching system. Yeah, 4, 5, depending on height and velocity, and also the application of that satellite. Different launching systems are used. Okay, so we have two types of satellites, and to use, one is geostationary satellite. Just a geostationary satellite and polar satellite. So that geostationary satellite, so this is our Earth. And it is rotating from the west to east with a constant angular velocity omega is equivalent to 2 pi by t, where t is equivalent to 24 hours. 24 घंटा में अर्थ अपने एक्सिस में चारों तरफ एक चक्कर लगा देता है. Geostationary means it looks like it is at stationary form, it's not moving. The term geostationary is used here. This satellite, it looks like it is stationary with compared to Earth. What it means? The relative velocity of that satellite, it is 0 with respect to Earth. How it is possible? If this is that orbit, this is that orbit, and this orbit is in the plane of, this is that equator. So this is equator of our Earth, and this orbit is that orbit, and this is that satellite. This is satellite. Okay, if its time period or this its time period is compared to 24 hours, just remember this. क्या हुआ? So if it's a time period, if it is equivalent to 24 hours, so one person somewhere here, one person is somewhere here, it's observing this satellite at a particular time. And since this person is moving with this Earth, our Earth with this time period 24 hours, because our Earth is rotating, and if the satellite, it is also moving with the same speed, we are moving with 24 hours of orbital velocity, that is spin velocity of 24, angular velocity omega, that this is constant, and if with this constant angular velocity this satellite is also moving, then obviously that will be stationary with compared to us. So geostationary satellite, it is that satellite, this is the satellite, artificial satellite, whose orbital time period is equal to spin time period of Earth. Spin time period of Earth, that is 24 hours. हम जितने टाइम पे स्पिन करते हैं वो आर्बिट करता है उतने टाइम पे 24 आवर्स में कंप्लीट चक्कर लगाता है. सो इट्स आर्बिट्रल टाइम पीरियड. It is 24 hours, which is actually the spin time period of our Earth. So that's why that will looks like it's stationary. Conditions क्या क्या होंगे इसमें? Conditions will be first one is the time period. Second, it must be that orbital must be in the plane of that equator position. As well as the direction of motion is also important. अपोजिट डायरेक्शन पे अगर हुआ तो फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. हाँ, सो द डायरेक्शन ऑफ दैट रोटेशन दैट इज फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट इज अवर अर्थ इज. सो दीज आर द कंडीशंस. एंड हाइट इज अबाउट मोर देन दैट एटमॉस्फेरिक हाइट. सो इट्स अबव 16,000 kilometers. So one is the height, and second one is its orbital velocity, orbital time period. Orbital time period must be 24 hours, and that must be in equilibrium, equator planar. So here, this is that, this is that, and the application is for that telecommunication and that television communication, for the prediction of weather, measurement of different phenomena around our Earth. These are the applications. So one can write that. And the second one is that polar satellites are also there. So in the polar satellite, the position will be just opposite. So this is that pole, and the the orbital will be like this. Orbital, that will be in the plane of poles. Stationary satellite, that is launched in the equator, the plane of equator. In that polar satellite, it is launched in the plane of the poles. So this is that orbit, and obviously the rotation is like this. Pole is fixed, so there is no need to fix its time period equivalent to 24 hours. There is no need to take this. So that is that polar satellite, and the application is same. And that application of this polar satellite, that measurement by this polar satellite is accurate enough because its height is less than the height of this geostationary satellite. The height of this geostationary satellite is about more than 16,000 kilometers, and the height of this polar satellite, this is about 300 to 400 kilometers. So it's near of our Earth. That's why the predictions as well as data given by these polar satellites, this is more reliable with compared to that geostationary satellite. Okay, so you should make a complete note about this satellite. What is the satellite? This is a body moving around a big body. You should have numbers of examples. Then the classification of satellite, artificial and natural satellites, and generally we forget about the natural satellite because man-made satellites are more important what we think. And then that artificial satellite, so you have to calculate its orbital velocity and the launching system, time period. So the method of launching by 3 or 4 unit stage rapid system, and then to further classification, that is the geostationary satellite and polar satellite for different applications. Okay, so you must have a good notes for this. Okay, so this is complete for this satellite system.